Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, fortunately, we are pre-taping our episode today. I am what was Loki's phrase? Burning with glorious purpose this afternoon on the softball field, but we're filming in the afternoon. My wife's at work. My stepson's out with his girlfriend. Who's ready for a pants-off dance-off? I was going to go back to making another stupid comment about me not liking the crowd, the one person that's not happy about the crowd back. But last night on the Minutes to Bell Time Raw thread, somebody thought I was serious and started yelling at me. So I'm only joking. I'm happy the fans are back. Tongue-in-cheek. Then John DeConnie, that was for you as I explained it. No, I'm just trying to make John DeConnie laugh and relax.
Unfortunately,
I don't need the fans telling me who to boo and cheer. I don't need the fans to tell me. I can think for myself.
Good time.
Anyway, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 64. As always, powered by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, like I said, we are pre-taped. I have a softball playoff game later on tonight that I cannot miss. So everybody who comments, we love that you comment and that you chime in. We are not ignoring you today. We are just not live, and we can't answer them. We will be back live 100% next week as we are on our road to SummerSlam. Down on the bottom portion of our screen, we have our first ever PWP Pick'em champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are things this afternoon?
Not bad. It's a miserably hot and humid day here in Jersey, but we're talking wrestling, so everything's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is a hot one outside. I got the fan going down here in my little PWP studios. And, of course, always with us in the top right portion of our screen, Mike made his cousin. For those of you who do not know, John Smith. John, how are things today?
Good, man. I got some air conditioning going. I don't know what third world country you guys are in with fans and whatnot. But
Stevens, I think I saw you hung out with Mike over the weekend. How's he doing?
Oh, he's doing good, just as annoying as ever with his Ms. Love. So, I try to get away from that, because I always deal with it with you, and then I get it from him.
There you go. There's a man. He knows his wrestling. He doesn't like Pat McAfee, though, which I find odd. But, whatever. To each their own.
Yeah.
I guess Pat McAfee's an acquired taste. On today's show, Roman Reigns apparently doesn't like missionary position over and over again. He likes to keep it fresh, I guess. Nikki Ash opened and closed the show on Raw. There we go, Nikki Ash getting shoved down our throats. Commissioner Regal got put to sleep on NXT last week. Gary Mehaffy is back with us to discuss NXT UK and the Tag Team Championship match this past Thursday. Unfortunately, I got to cross this part off of the headline. We do not have Ryan Joy or Travis Severance with us today to discuss the indie circuit. They actually had a great episode this morning on the Daily Wrestling News Show. If you want to hear all about Nick Gage, please go onto YouTube and all of our Eastern Observer platforms and watch the Daily Wrestling News Show. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows. We do not have any of the Minutes to Bell Time statistics, and I've been getting a little bit of slack lately for my graphics. I tried to upgrade them a little bit. I tried to be a little more accurate, so we'll see how that goes. Please do not at me with the graphics today, presented by Pro Wrestling Pick'em. These are me. But we're going to make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, which is always sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And you know what? She'll like them too. We're going to main event the show with Impact and the Homecoming show. We have one match to pick. We do not have the brackets for this Homecoming King and Queen tournament, so I made my own. So we're going to be going over a fantasy bracket later. Gary's going to join us with that. We're going to have a little bit of fun later on, do a little fantasy booking in this little made-up tournament that I had, just to get into the mood of a mixed tag team tournament. We're going to have a lot of fun. But we're going to cut and jerk the show with AEW and Fyter Fest Night 2. We have a big IWGP New Japan title change. We will get to that in a minute. But first, John DeConnie, Britt Baker, her first title defense of the AEW Women's Championship. She had a tough task with Nyla Rose, someone who's beaten her before.
Yeah, and Nyla gave her all she could handle once again. But we had a glorious moment where Rebel got up on the ring to try and distract the referee. She had already slid the women's title under the other side of the ropes, gave Britt a chance to pick up the belt. She kind of considered hitting Nyla with it. Instead, decided to go for the old Eddie Guerrero, toss the belt to Nyla, lay down as if she had been hit, looking for the DQ. But God love her, Vicky grabbed the referee's foot, would not let him go, giving Nyla enough time to toss the belt back at Britt and feign like she was about to be hit. We would go on, and eventually it would end with a lockjaw submission, but that moment just warms the heart, the Guerrero fan heart.
You can't out-Guerrero a Guerrero. Despite what you want to say about Vicky, she married the man. She fell in love with that man more than any of us could ever possibly do. It looks like lying, cheating, stealing. Is that was it sexually transmitted? I guess is I don't know, but it's Vicky. Yeah, exactly. That warmed it right down in the cockles of our hearts, John DeConnie. Another match, Doc Gallows. Doc Gallows got a win. Okay, so once again, yeah, we picked that, John Smith. I got that too. We got the win over Frankie Kazarian. So let's put two and two together here. So Doc Gallows, he never gets pinned in tag matches, and now he's winning singles matches. I think it's time for Doc to go solo. I think Doc's got to start reconsidering his stance in this Good Brothers tag team. There was a post-match attack where Kenny Omega came out to put an end to this elite hunter thing that Frankie's been doing. But here comes Adam Page, but he was outnumbered, and then here comes the Dark Order. That's going to set up a huge 10-man elimination match. We will get to that at the end of this segment. We're going to make our picks. We're going to make a dumb assumption that's going to be the main event at Fight for the Fallen. So we'll do it. We'll give it that just due with this segment of main event with that. John DeConnie, fresh off his coffin match, was Darby Allin.
Yes, Darby Allin took on this young upstart, Wheeler Yuta. And Yuta, I mean, this guy's going to be good. These two had a great match. It was only about 4.5 minutes. But this match took place in this whole segment took place in 3 chunks. And the match, which ended with Darby Allin winning with the coffin drop, was the least important chunk of the 3 segments.
Yeah, that was not the story of this match, John DeConnie.
No, at the end of the match, we had Blade knocking out Cassidy with the Nux. That would play into their match later. But the most important segment of this whole deal was the epic sloth-style exchange at ringside between Orange Cassidy and Sting that ended with Sting beating his chest. And just, I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, Sting, the bully that Sting is, Sting threw the first kick here. So the battle line has been drawn by Sting. Orange Cassidy had no choice but to retaliate. Epic back and forth. I actually, to tell you the truth, that match intrigues me. I'll be honest. I'm not the biggest Sting guy out there. That match really intrigues me. So I'm actually looking forward to that.
As long as it doesn't end with a beach break, God forbid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the closest you're going to get to Sting versus The Undertaker.
Exactly. We're finally getting Sting Undertaker, ladies and gentlemen. In the words of the Redeemer, Miro will fight next week, I guess, at AEW Homecoming. Is there literally been 3 or 4 shows that are being called Homecoming? That have been, one was like with the GCW thing, right? Then we got Impact this week. We got AEW next week. It's not even Homecoming season. They have the football games end of October, right? Homecoming.
Exactly. Homecoming is in October.
I guess maybe it's the beginning of the new season of sweeps. I guess I don't know. Andrade El Idolo, he announced his new executive consultant to be Chavo Guerrero, for those of you who don't know him by his real name, Kerwin White. He used to be in WWE. The Death Triangle came out because Andrade said he wanted to talk to them the week prior. Andrade wants Penta and Phoenix to work for him, not Pac. That didn't go over well because I don't think they work for Pac. Pac said that they're all individual. They're just a family, I guess. But nobody in the Death Triangle liked that at all. So we're going to look forward to that going forward. I like that. But I think Andrade needs some more help, right? The 3-on-2. Even if Chavo, call him by his wrestling name, Chavo. Does Chavo wrestle? Does he wrestle anymore, John? Anybody have eyes that Chavo's been wrestling? No?
I've only seen him on the golf course.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy defeated the Blade after the Orange Punch. That was in lieu of what John the guy said. That stemmed after the epic encounter between Orange. I'm shocked Orange Cassidy was actually able to wrestle after that encounter with Sting. John Smith, we added for the second week in a row, and it looks like he's leaking into the third. An IWGP United States Championship match. This one was a rematch from way back when at Wrestle Kingdom. There was a Texas death match in Japan. So it's only fitting to have a Japanese death match in Texas.
Yeah, and what a death match it was. It wasn't an exploding ring death match, thank God. But, it was just as brutal as it sounds because they were using a fork right from the start, and they were really stabbing each other in the forehead and grinding it out and punching that cut open and blood everywhere. And, these two just went at it. So Archer set him up for his finisher, the reverse Razor's Edge, to go through two chairs. Mox slipped out of it, low blow or whatever, reversed the chairs so the backs of them were next to each other. But then he gets choke slammed right on top of the edges of the tops of the chairs. It was disgusting. I felt that. Ended up with two pieces of plywood with barbed wire all over him on top of two tables. Moxley gets slammed through him with a choke slam after getting stabbed in the forehead yet again with forks. And we have ourselves a new IWGP United States champion after the 10 count.
Yeah, that one shocked me. I didn't realize this falls count anywhere or answer the 10. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not up on my deathmatch knowledge as much as the next guy is. But they threw at it before the match even started. Actually, we'll get to that in a second because I forgot. We have points to award here. Fighter Fest, this is how we all did. John Smith nailed it. There you go. Got the big 5-point bonus. He's catching up to us now. John DeConnie still in the lead in All Elite Wrestling with a 22-5 record. John DeConnie 5-1. You got Doc wrong, right? You had Frankie.
Yep.
All righty. And then John DeConnie, this puts you back tied for first in the perfect pay-per-view column right there. You're tied with Ryan Joy.
That would be John.
Right there. Ryan had a great league last week. You got two perfect pay-per-views between Money in the Bank and Night One of Fighter Fest, and then Blood and Guts, probably the most predictable show in wrestling history. We all kind of nailed that one. So as I was saying, going into Fight for the Fallen, a charity event that they hold every year. I forgot to put the thing up. John DeConnie, you know what I know last year there was a COVID charity. Do you know what it is this year?
I don't. I always assumed it was Wounded Warrior or something along those lines, but I don't know officially what it is this year.
I think the first 2 years they did it. Last year was a COVID thing because, we were kind of right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But as they announced before the Moxley Archer match that the winner would have to defend this title again. So for the third week in a row, we have an IWGP United States Championship match. They got some smiles on their faces, but we got Hikalo, who apparently is a descendant of Haku, which only means he fits right into this whole equation of death matches and violence and everything that this title apparently stands for. So John DeConnie, as our leader in AEW standings, this is not for points. This is for charity. We're not going to be gambling on this one. Who do you got in this?
This one's tough. I don't think that they'll take it right off of Archer that quick because, boy, what a slap in the face that would be. But it kind of had that feel of, Charlotte winning so she could pass it right off to Nikki Ash. I'm going to go with Archer, but I would not be surprised at all to see Hikuleo take it because, good Lord, as I said last week on Daily Wrestling News Show, Hikuleo's Haku's son, but I don't know who was his mother. that he's like 6'9".
Leonardo.
Okay, I'm gonna go Lance Archer as well, just to go with that, John. Why wouldn't he just have Moxley if it's a count out type deal? Why wouldn't you just have him just lose to Moxley in a death match? I don't know, John Smith.
And I got Hikuleo winning this because I think that they wanted to give somebody in their own company the rub from Moxley. Maybe somebody will cost Archer the match. So why give this random guy in Japan the rub when he loses that title when they could give it to Archer, who needed it, to be quite honest.
That makes sense. And you got to get that belt. I guess it's the United States belt. Does that belt have to go back to Japan? I mean, I feel like that's meant to be defended here on the U.S.-based side. You know, New Japan has a U.S. central thing. Gary Mehaffy chiming in backstage. This year's charity is it's called Safe Alliance for the survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse based in North Carolina. $100,000 donation. Was that by AEW? $100,000 donation by AEW. Proceeds benefiting that charity. So good job, AEW. Not ripping on anybody. I don't know another wrestling promotion donating anything to charity. So AEW, there you go. Way to be original. We actually have from last week at Fyter Fest, Chris Jericho defeated Shawn Spears with the Judas effect. So check one labor off for Chris Jericho. He's got to go through four more. A little surprise by MJF as he brings out Nick Gage. Nick Gage making some headlines this week. Apparently, this is the most violent SOB on the planet and the most unorthodox, unpredictable SOB on the planet since New Jack. Nick Gage, apparently the GCW champion, lost his championship to Matt Cardona last week as Cardona was reigned with any type of beverage that the audience had in their hands. So with all that, Ryan Joy discussed that with me in length, and again with Travis this morning on the Daily Wrestling News Show. If you want to hear our thoughts on that, go over there. But now you got Rick J. Gage, this psychopath apparently, likes to rob banks and whatnot. You have to put him in a wrestling match, and so he's out of his element. And now Chris Jericho, he's going to have to do some transformation here, John Smith. He's bringing out the Painmaker to make sure he can counteract Nick Gage and get past this labor to get to MJF.
Yeah, throwback to his short stint over in NJPW, right? But yeah he's definitely going to win the match. I don't know how it's going to play out. I feel like there will be interference maybe on both sides, but, I got Jericho winning this one.
All right, John DeConnie, did you see the Nick Gage Cardona fight, or do you want to call it? It was more of a fight than a wrestling match, I guess.
Yeah, I downloaded it. I haven't been able to get through it yet. That was on deck for tonight, but I saw some of the stills and oofa. I got Jericho in this match. I just hope Tony Khan has, a zookeeper at ringside with a trank dart gun to make sure Gage doesn't get out of control.
I guess, yes. I'm going to go Jericho as well. I think it's too early to end this labor thing. And you know what? It's funny. If MJF is pulling out Nick Gage, who else knows what's in his bag of tricks? Like, he could have just easily went to FTR, number 2 and number 3 and say Gage later. But he's got something up his sleeve to make sure Jericho doesn't get to him.
CM Punk.
Would Punk really be friends with MJF? I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it would fit.
No. Speaking of FTR, they had a press conference. They're going to be going up against Santana and Ortiz. This match has been on a collision course for quite some time now. They had a press conference last week where Santana made reference to a bleep hole that he grew up in the Bronx. So, John DeConnie, did you know Santana grew up at Yankee Stadium?
Talk about it all the time.
Let's go, Mets.
Oh my God! I almost flipped you off about we're a family show.
The bleep hole in the Bronx. What else could it be? Who do you got in the match?
Give me Proud and Powerful here. I don't feel confident in that pick, but I think Conan will make the difference.
That's the thing, and Conan's been off TV, John Smith, since he got his ass handed to him by FTR and Tully Blanchard.
Yeah, it seems like it's shaping up to be Santana and Ortiz's match, so I'll take them.
So I'm assuming that Conan's been coming out. He likes that the soap in the sock or something in the sock, right? The whip people with it, and yeah.
The Mad Ball.
There you go. We have a 6-man tag team match. That's Matt Hardy's Band of Merry Men. They've been thorns in the sides of Christian Cage and Jurassic Express for quite some time now. As you can see, it being a little more accurate here. It's a 6-man tag. I got 6 guys on the screen here. We're trying to be more accurate here at the Essential Wrestling Podcast with that Ryan Joy. But we got Angelico, Private Party. Not sure where Jack Evans is. Maybe he'll be at ringside going against Christian Cage, Jurassic Express's team of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. And I'm assuming Marco Stunt will be running around like an idiot somewhere, John McConney.
Always. Give me Jurassic Express and Christian Cage here. For no other reason other than the fact that I think the dinosaurs win.
There you go. John Smith.
I don't know. I want to pick Angelico and Private Party, but I think they're going to have Jurassic Express win. So I'll go with them. Because I think they like having the people sing the song twice. So that's why I'm going with them, because they want to get crowd participation.
All right, but when Christian Cage hits the kill switch and gets the win, you're not going to be hearing Baltimore at the end of that match. Yeah, Christian Cage, he's getting momentum, going to be taking out Kenny Omega all out. Yep, got to go Christian Cage on this one.
Sure.
Apparently, Tony Khan, he's got some type of major announcement. He looks happy about it. Any ideas of what Tony Khan's major announcement would be? I can't imagine it being Daniel Bryan or CM Punk. At the moment, I know Chicago's coming up, at All Out. I'm sure Punk will be safe for that. Daniel Bryan, who knows? But any type of anything, John Smith. It's actually kind of sad that we can't make the joke anymore that it's going to be CM Punk. Like, I'm actually a little upset by this.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be CM Punk, I don't think. I'll believe that when I see it, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be real here. But I can't think of what it would be. Maybe he's announcing another opponent for Kenny, like Kenny's next championship match. I don't know.
All right, John DeConnie, any thoughts here?
I'm thinking we have All Out in September. Then we have Full Gear in November. Maybe it's a pay-per-view before whatever their February pay-per-view. Maybe it's an end-of-the-year pay-per-view they're adding. I don't know.
Like I said, I talked about this on a Daily Wrestling News show. They got to get a stadium show in for Double or Nothing going forward. They have Jacksonville at their disposal during the offseason. It's not like it doesn't cost them anything to do an event there.
Maybe it's the trios titles.
That's exactly where I was going with the trios titles. Let's get these rolling, Tony. Let's get these rolling. And you mentioned Kenny Omega's next opponent. Excuse me. It could be an appointment for September 6th or 5th. As there's going to be a 10-man elimination match. It goes ripping all the Survivors. We have the Elite on one side with the Good Brothers, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. Every single one of them holding gold going into it. One person holding more than one title. Going against Hangman Page and the Dark Order. Now, if Page and the Dark Order, represented by numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are Uno, Grayson, Reynolds, and Silver, Hangman Page will get his championship opportunity at Kenny Omega, and then with that, the 2 members of the Dark Order will get a tag team championship match against the Young Bucks. This is, I guess, technically Champions Eliminator tournament, whatever you want to call it, match that WWE is just driving into the ground. Get to that one in a second. John DeConnie, what do you guys? You got to go with Hangman Page on this one, right? This is a layup.
Yeah. I mean, could they really put that match off until November? I just don't see it. So I think it's happening in September. So give me Hangman in the Dark Order.
John Smith.
Yeah, I'll go that direction as well.
Completely agreed. So that is AEW Fight for the Fallen, getting benefiting charity in North Carolina. What was the name of it again? Let me just get the Gary's private chat up here. Safe Alliance for the Survivors of Domestic Violence and Sexual Abuse, based in Charlotte, North Carolina. Very well done. Very good job done by Tony Khan, All Elite Wrestling, helping out the people who are less fortunate. turning the page to layingeth the smacketh down. We started the show with John Cena, just like we did the Monday prior. John Cena came out. He got the crowd all hyped up like he always does. I talked some smack about Roman. Heyman eventually came out, did a pretty good rendition of John Cena's music. Not quite on the level of John DeConnie's from last week as well, but it looks like Heyman's watching the EWP, John. How do you go? Paul Heyman ripping off John DeConnie.
I was praying I would get that shout out this week. Thank you very much.
No, it was a good rendition nonetheless. Everyone got a nice little chuckle out of it.
He did dance with his.
So the thing was, Cena wants Roman at SummerSlam. He was calling him out. You know, you don't call out the head of the table. You know, Roman goes on his home time. I would actually have been more upset if Roman did come out and actually let no, John called me out, so I have to come out now. No, you go on your own time, which he did. So he was going to make his announcement with John Cena in regards to John Cena at the end of the night. But a little side blurb in between the two segments that we didn't realize was going to be somewhat intertwined here. Finn Balor had his match with Sami Zayn from the week prior when Finn came out and totally punked out Sami Zayn. Great match. I believe they were one of the first ever takeover matches. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, they had to have crossed paths at some point in like the first 5 takeovers when Sami and Finn were both there. So that's a nice little flashback right there. Finn got the coup de grace for the win, but maybe they told Finn Balor wasn't in NXT the entire time he was gone. I know Vince hates NXT, but here we go. Nobody told him where Balor was, I guess. They just thought he was an island or something. But fast forward to the end of the night, back to the original point here. Roman Reigns told John Cena no, hence, you know, he's tired of John Cena, same old John Cena, and that's where the missionary's position came in. Very well played by Roman. I didn't think he'd go there, and he did. That was good. But then here comes Finn Balor. And Finn Balor just got right in his face. You want nothing of John? That's fine. How about you get some of me? And Roman accepted. So let's just take a quick second here, John DeConnie. Is this going to be on SmackDown, or is this now the new SummerSlam main event?
The way it played out, the way the back and forth went, it sounded like that was your SummerSlam main event. But unless it turns into a triple threat, I just can't see. Like, you don't bring John Cena back and he's not gonna, blow the roof off of SummerSlam. So unless they're gonna throw them all together, maybe Finn will get jumped by the Usos this week, and that'll move up the timetable, and he'll get, maybe the following week on SmackDown. I'm thinking that one's going to take place on SmackDown unless they move Finn into a triple threat at SummerSlam, because we're going to Cena Roman.
Yeah, and the thing with Finn Balor is this is not the Finn Balor that was on the main roster from before. This is the new Bullet Club. He does the thing before he does the drop kick and whatnot. This is still angry Finn Balor on SmackDown now, who has zero patience, John Smith. You know that he needs stuff and he wants it immediately. So I don't think this is going to make it to SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, he did never get his rematch for the Universal title that he had to drop years and years ago. So that could be his, his excuse for wanting it right away. And I don't think it's going to be at SummerSlam. We got to see Cena and Roman one-on-one at SummerSlam.
John, I hate to call you out on that. I actually did some research on Monday when I talked about this with Ryan. Actually, it was Roman Reigns who gave him that rematch.
Oh, he did?
From 2 years ago, 2018, when Roman got the Universal title. The next night he came out and defended it against Finn Balor, because Finn Balor never got his rematch from when he was injured. So, and then before that, it was Finn Balor's main roster in-ring debut. He beat Roman Reigns to earn that match at SummerSlam, where he became the first. So this is going to be Roman Balor 3. With the series tied at 1-1, I know it's, you don't have to beat a team 3 times. It's not the same season anyway, so I'll just leave that joke alone. So we're going to go forward with that, see what happens this Friday on SmackDown. I'm sure John Cena not going to be too happy with that. Jimmy Uso defeated Dominic Guerrero, just like they did at Money in the Bank. Yeah, they did the roll-up with Jay giving some leverage from the outside to give Jimmy the win. We had 2 shows at a rap concert, down in Miami Gardens, Florida, John DeConnie. We had 2 matches, a big championship rematch, and no one seemed cared.
Yeah, that was probably the most important part of that segment, was that the audience could have been a painting, because no one was moving, no one had their arms in the air, no one cared. Wale tried to get the crowd hyped up when he introduced the Street Profits, but they could care less. Angelo Dawkins went on to beat Chad Gable in 4 minutes with that pop-up spine buster he does. I think he calls it the anointment. And then Bianca came out to eventually retain her SmackDown Women's Championship against Carmella in just under 5 minutes. And as we said, no one cared. But WWE was sure to pump in some cheering so that they didn't feel all that terrible.
Yeah, and the funny thing is you got a music festival. To be fair to the Street Profits and Bianca Belair, they have very rap-style music themes, entrances. So you figured that would have got the crowd amped up, and they just sat on their hands. I think I saw 2 people like, yay. So, I just, all right, fun experiment, failed experiment, and I'm sure the people in Cleveland were just as pissed having to watch that on the Titantron. They didn't learn their lesson from the 25th anniversary of Raw or whatever it was that John Smith had to suffer through at Barclays. There you go. Back in Cleveland, Baker Mayfield was locked out of a stadium without his keys. Edge did an in-ring promo blaming Seth Rollins for his loss at Money in the Bank. So here comes Seth saying he's actually happy to see Edge. The word scumbag was used. I haven't heard that in a long time. That was fun. Edge began swinging, and Rollins ducked out before he was hit with the spear. So they're on a collision course for SummerSlam, as we all knew about. Big E, this is a little weird. Big E got in the ring to have some type of celebration bitches, for his Money in the Bank win. Got cut off right away by Apollo Crews, who was then cut off right away by the Dirty Dogs, and this turned into a whole Intercontinental Championship bleep show. Because then here comes Shinsuke Nakamura, then here comes Cesaro, so we got 6 guys. All of a sudden, the Money in the Bank is completely irrelevant. The whole, the beginning, whatever the promo was about, was completely thrown out. And everybody just started swinging at each other with Cesaro literally swinging Apollo. So I feel like these 6 guys, I guess the Money in the Bank would just put that on the back burner. That's fine, I guess, for now. It's not the time. But it looks like they're on a collision course for SummerSlam. And a 6-man tag, not a 6-man tag, a 6-way, 6-pack challenge, whatever you want to call it, maybe a ladder. They just did that, though, with Money in the Bank twice. So
maybe a TLC match?
Yeah, John Smith, I'm going to put this up again. I don't know if this is the exact address, but there is a GoFundMe page. Baron Corbin's hurting. He didn't do too well this Friday as well.
Well, the guy that he entrusted to do this for him ghosted him after he paid him.
Awful.
Unbelievable. He's just had the worst run of luck. But he had a sympathetic ear in Kevin Owens, who's, even though he's a face, he's been pretty despicable in his past. So I guess he was the right guy to go to for some help. So he handed him what it looked like either $40 or $60 in 20s. And, Corbin was very appreciative, and right afterwards got shot in the groin with Shotzi Blackheart's cannon. So he gets the floor. The money's on the floor. The Dirty Dogs come up, pointing and laughing at him, and take the money and go away, and then start beating him up actually. And then Kevin Owens comes in and makes the save.
To quote the great Homer Simpson, "Football to the groin. It works on so many levels." Yeah, Tegan and Shotzi in the back trying to fix, I guess, Shotzi's tank or something, but I guess the trigger was busted, but they fixed it. Oh, comedic timing at its finest. And then John Smith, your girl, I believe she's back there on your wall over your left shoulder. They gave her name. They let her keep her name, Toni Storm. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll shorten it to T-Storm, and then Storm, and then just the letter S.
Storm. Dude, don't say that. Vince is watching.
And then team her up with T-Bar.
Jesus, I like it. T-Storm.
T-Storm. Yeah, no, but short match between her and Vega. Vega got a couple moves in, but it was just to showcase Toni. It was her debut. She hit that ridiculous finisher of hers that you still really don't know what's happening, even when you try to watch it in slow-mo. Like, I love it. It's called the Storm 1. It's better than the Storm 0 that she used to do. That'll probably be her setup move now. But she didn't need to use that move in the match. She just hit the Storm 1 and 1, 2, 3.
Okay, there's a quick yes or no here before we get to Raw. Somebody in the social media world, they're treating Zelina Vega just like they treated Lana when Lana was going through 10 tables. Is this yes or no? Is this the same thing?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Okay, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure I'm not an idiot. That's all I just want to say. No, this is Zelina Vega is fine.
I think people are just butthurt that she didn't end up in AEW with Aleister Black. I think that's all that is.
And the thing was, I don't even think they were burying. How do you bury somebody when you put them on TV every single week in an important spot that people are looking forward to? How was that burying somebody? No, Lana had it great. No, that was not. Anyway, not to mention Soul Survivor. Look what the payoff of that was. Not many women can say they were the sole survivor of a Survivor Series elimination match. There you go, Lana. So we are going to switch to that particular show that Lana went through 10 tables in a row via Nia Jax. Was it last summer? It was last summer, right?
Yeah.
So for the first time, Nikki Ash getting shoved down her throat. She started the show. That's the definition, right? When someone's getting shoved down her throats, you see him twice in the same episode at the beginning and the end, right? That's it. Yeah, now it's Nikki Ash. But I felt happy for her. She was good. She was a legitimate. I wanted to say this. Welcome. She introduced the show. Something she probably never thought she'd ever do. So good for her. What do my notes say here? She opens as a new champ. She spouted off every cliche in the book for people to believe in themselves and yada, 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 until eventually Charlotte interrupted, wants a rematch at SummerSlam. Here comes Rhea, says she wants a rematch as well. Triple threat booked for SummerSlam. But Charlotte wants her that night. She wanted her last night. She got her. Charlotte got the win, rolling through the high cross body that Nikki won the championship with. I guess that's her new finishing maneuver. Charlotte rolled through it, got the pin. Nikki still believed herself, though, dusted herself off. I believe I had the confidence I can beat you. I want to do it again, but then she fell for the oldest trick in the book, the old left-handed handshake, turning into a right cross right across the chin. And then Nikki got her ass kicked. So we're going to do it again next week. And I was kind of thinking, why is Charlotte wasting her time? She's the champ. Nikki's the champ. I guess this is what you have to waste your time on, right? So they're going to do it again next week. I'm trying to be more accurate with these graphics. Another champion contenders match. They're not my title matches anymore, people. It's official. They are now all champion contenders matches. This one in particular is a rematch, John Smith.
How many times does Charlotte have to beat her to actually earn a title match? I don't know. But
she's got it. Yeah, I know exactly right, but she's got it. The match is booked for SummerSlam. So.
No, I understand, but why is this called a championship? I don't know.
It's their phrase for a non-title match. That's their new.
I don't know, sir. I don't like it.
No,
I got Nikki winning this one, probably via the Raw roll-up or Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley was nowhere to be found in the main event last night, Johnny Con. She told Nikki to kick her ass, go for it, but then she wasn't around.
Yeah. She said, I believe I'll be leaving SummerSlam with your title, but tonight you go give Charlotte hell. So maybe she will assist, like John Smith said, and I see Nikki winning this one next week.
No. She's going to lose every single match and go into SummerSlam with zero momentum, but she's going to keep believing in herself. She still has her confidence as long as she has it. And she's going to win at SummerSlam. So, no, she's going to get her ass kicked again. Charlotte had a good point, though. Going back to the original promo, Charlotte was for that Money in the Bank cash-in. Nikki was not in the ring, and Charlotte was not on her feet. So how that bell rung for that match to begin. So Charlotte's got a point here. She got screwed on that one, but whatever. I digress. They write the rules. Every match is different, right?
That's it.
John Smith, Bobby Lashley came out. We were supposed to get an answer from him as well about Goldberg at SummerSlam, and he brushed it off as well. But wasn't like Roman. He didn't just flat out say no. He just didn't say anything. And then, some old friends came out.
Yeah, first we get Cedric wearing something pretty weird, something John Morrison, let him borrow, it looks like. And then, he had this, he told Bobby that he wanted him out because because he was better than him. That's why he was kicked out of the Hurt Business. Clearly, that's the case, right?
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. Then Shelton comes out, has a little something to say, and then we get ourselves a handicap match, 2-on-1. I don't know why they would put their differences aside, Shelton and Cedric, to team up against Bobby, but I guess that's the only reason. But
just real quick to cut you off here, when Bobby said I'll take on both of them at the same time, I thought it was just a triple threat. Like I thought that Cedric and Shelton were going to get at each other too. I thought it was just going to be a triple threat match. It turned out to be a handicap match.
Yeah, same here, because it didn't make sense for them to team back up. But whatever, he teamed them back up just so they could get double stacked like Roman Reigns did to Edge and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. We got he hit Goldberg's Dominator on Cedric, on Shelton, and then he did not Dominator. What's Goldberg's Jackhammer on Shelton, and then he did put the Dominator onto Shelton with Cedric.
Yep.
And stacked them for the win. So that's your champ for you right there.
Yeah, so it's no Goldberg to be found last night, and then it was funny. Somebody did an analytical dive. There's more people like not on social media and like kids and stuff like that. Like Goldberg tests so high on these charts that it's actually kind of funny. Like the three of us and James Wheeler and whoever else is watching, Tyler can't stand Goldberg. It's actually kind of funny to talk to Tyler about Goldberg. You get a good chuckle out of his anger. But it's funny how high he tests on all these radars. There's a reason why they keep on bringing him back.
Doesn't he have a contract? Doesn't he have obligated dates and stuff?
He's got I think he's got 3 matches left and 2. He came back for Saudi Arabia. That was the original thing, but then all of a sudden he started testing higher on all these stateside stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's just me. I should really. I did not go to WWE and find out that information myself, so I should not be saying that as a fact. But that's just me. John DeConnie, we had a tag team championship rematch. I love this pairing. I really do. I love AJ and Omos against the Viking Raiders. I want to see them, go out in mini golf. I want to see an axe throwing contest.
Yeah, and how often can you put together 4 wrestlers and AJ Styles, not literally, but kind of be the weak link? Because he's kind of been getting his ass kicked most of this year, but. We had he once again was getting beat up, but he made the hot tag to Omos, who came in and would eventually use the 2-handed choke slam on I believe, but AJ wanted to finish it off, so AJ finally he hit his 450 splash on Eric for the win. They get to retain, but AJ wasn't done for the evening. He would approach Miz and Morrison backstage afterwards, because he had something very important to discuss, and he used Omos to block out the sun and give them some privacy to discuss it.
I'm sorry, John Morrison. Then I thought we were going to lead right into it. John Morrison had a match with Riddle.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped the line there. So so we had Morrison versus Riddle booked for tonight, last night I should say, and this one started. I have more notes about the ridiculousness that went on in this match than the actual wrestling. The match starts with Saxton getting absolutely drenched by one of the dripsticks. Then we get Miz sprays Riddle down in the middle of the match, which turns into Riddle. Miz is celebrating the fact that he got him again and doesn't realize that Riddle's made his way out to the apron and hits a running PK right to Miz's chest. Flips the chair over, so he's a turtle on his back again. Then
Riddle was impersonating.
Riddle would climb for the floating bro, get distracted when AJ and Omos make their way down to ringside, and Omos just snapped his scooter in half. That would allow Morrison to hit Starship Pain for the win. And afterwards, AJ would attack Riddle and hit a Styles Clash in the middle of the ring, and still no Randy Orton to be found.
Yeah, Randy wasn't there. Yeah, Omos went full Bo Jackson on that scooter. Going back to the tag title match, I'm going to make a small prediction here. This time Styles likes to tag himself at the end for the win, for the pin kind of. This one wasn't about ego though, because you're exactly right. Like he's been getting his ass kicked by the Viking Raiders for the better part of the past month, and like usually the look on his face is like, no, like, I'm putting the nail in this coffin. Like this had nothing to do with ego. This was just him just being like just angry and hitting the 450. But I think that's going to be the downfall. Where he's going to tag himself in, and one of these days he's going to get caught, and Omos is going to get pissed. And I'm picturing it. I'm picturing that feud breaking up, and I'm like, oh my god, like Omos, like the way he moves, like he's going to be a future champ, the world champ. Like he's going to be once he gets rid of AJ Styles and he goes forward, and maybe about 2 years down the line, we're talking, my Aleister Black theory. I guess it's not a theory. He's not dead yet. He could come back in the next 3 years, but Omos is going to main event WrestleMania at some point in time in the next 3 years. I think 3-year minimum if he stays healthy. So, speaking of not staying healthy, unfortunately, Natalya and Tamina, they defeated Evolution after a distraction on the Titantron by the Lilylution video package, followed by, from what I saw, salt in the eyes of Eva Marie by Tamina, followed by an illegal crescent kick to the throat. Pretty sure that was illegal. I want to say Tamina had a handful of tights as well. So Tamina brought out all the stops to cheat to win this match to make Eva Marie look bad. Not really the story here. I was trying to make all these jokes, right? And all of a sudden, Natalya is hobbling along. You saw the trainer run the back part of the screen to go check on her. She hobbled off. Natalya hopefully will get better in time to defend her tag titles at SummerSlam. We're hoping this will be, Knox and Shotzi. They got the next shot coming up. But we hope Natalya's all right. It didn't look like that. Her leg got caught when she was getting rolled over by Piper or Dewdrop or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully now it'll be okay. And another injury, Damian Priest, he defeated Sheamus John DeConnie. I think Sheamus broke his nose again.
Yeah, so Damian Priest cut a promo backstage beforehand saying that Sheamus isn't a real champion. He's a coward and a bully. So they get at it in this championship contenders match, because we've got to put that at the beginning of every match now. And Priest would wind up knocking Sheamus's headgear off about midway through this match. Priest would go on to hit the Reckoning. I guess he gets the name rights back for that one. He gets the 1, 2, 3.
I caught that too. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Wasn't that hit the light?
And afterwards, Sheamus would be screaming for a doctor. He rebroke my nose. God knows how long he'll be out for this time. Although this time it wasn't a bloody mess like last time, and it wasn't all over his face. So I think he might have been telling a little fib.
Yeah, so that looks like Damian Priest earned the opportunity to challenge for MVP's United States Championship. That looks like that's going towards start, especially if Sheamus is selling a broken nose. You can delay this for 4 weeks. Drew McIntyre and Veer. Common sense says one thing. The ring announcer said another thing. Corey Graves said another thing. All I know is that a chair was involved, and McIntyre did the Claymore, hit him like a Veer in headlights. I'll leave that match there. John Smith, we had a rematch from NXT TakeOver 30. We covered this match extensively. Where was Dominic Dijakovic in all this? I figured he was going to be involved too.
Right? And, I mean, this was the complete opposite of the first time they went at it, because there was no hype to this. There was nobody in the crowd seemed to care. Cross still doesn't get his entrance. He's coming out to that song without the entrance. It's kind of a lame entrance. So we get that. Him versus Keith Lee. They never mentioned once that he beat Keith Lee for the NXT title. They didn't even call it a for the NXT title.
What's NXT?
Exactly. But then they'll talk about Finn Balor's time in NXT.
I think they didn't mention NXT 30. That's how I didn't have to look it up. He said it last night. Somebody said it on air. NXT 30.
No, it must have just been in passing though, because they should have hyped this up as something like that. But I mean, the match was good. Keith Lee broke out of the straitjacket submission at one point, but Cross was too much for him with this the suplex, Saito suplex into the forearm to the back of the head into the straitjacket. He got Keith Lee to tap out, which I was surprised about. I thought Keith Lee was going to pass out, but I like it. But I just don't like the energy I'm feeling from Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw.
No, or Keith Lee, to be honest, in my opinion, like that's something I don't know.
Yeah, they can work with that though.
There's time to fix it, like just gotta relax. After SummerSlam, Keith Lee's gonna go on a tear. Just watch,
or Vince will say, "Oh, this doesn't work," and then we're gonna see Cross on AEW in 6 months.
Yeah. Mansoor and Mustafa Ali, they defeated Mason T-Bar. After Mansoor hit the Raw roll-up. So Mansoor is learning from his mistakes, and he's learning the ways of the Raw. He did the Raw roll-up successfully. Good for Mansoor. And then Reginald defeated R-Truth with the flipping earthquake to retain the 24/7 championship. That was an actual match. I had a lot of fun, watching, Reggie just be silky smooth and just jumping around everywhere. So here's what we have right now heading into SummerSlam. We have one match booked. Nikki Ash against Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Everything else, it looks like this is where we're headed. Some of the stuff on screen they're already building up for. Someone like Sasha Banks. Hopefully we'll see Sasha Banks on Friday now that this whole rap concert Miami thing is over and done with, and they got to start giving Bianca a new opponent. Now they just beat Carmella twice and Bayley's injured. 6-way Intercontinental title match. You got the women's tag title match. I guess maybe Eva Marie gets select. Yeah, do something with Eva Marie. You can't leave her off the card. Maybe have that feud with Alexa Bliss come to a head at SummerSlam. So that's where we are right now. So, gentlemen, we actually are going to take a quick pause. We have a little video announcement. So after these messages, we'll be right
back.
Thanks, Al. Summer Mondays are back for the Primetime Rundown as myself, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca will be coming to you with the Primetime Rundown right here on the Eastern Observer on Monday nights beginning at 7 p.m. all the way until August 30th. Make sure to join us on the following platforms.
There we go. Last night we had the Primetime Rundown. That's their new summer schedule, so they will be on all these Observer platforms. Please tune in to the Primetime Rundown with Joey Jarzanka, Rob DeLuca, and Roderick Strong stunt double Ian Schreier. He looks like Roddy. I'm not saying that as a joke. He looks like Roddy. That's Roddy's a looking guy. All right, so we're going to transfer over to NXT. They own the night tonight. Last week, Samoa Joe came out pissed off from the week before. He considered himself officially provoked, I guess. Excuse me. Now he's just forever provoked by Karrion Kross, and he vowed to get Kross back into control. When Karrion Kross finally arrived, Joe went to meet him in the ring, only to find out that Karrion Kross jumped William Regal in the parking lot and put him to sleep. And with TakeOver announced, you get the feeling that Regal is going to book Joe as Karrion Kross's opponent, or is there somebody else you think that might go in here, John Smith?
It's a good question. I think they're going to roll with Joe. I don't know. I just didn't think we were going to see Joe versus him this quickly, but yeah, I guess.
With all shit, pun intended, with the Karrion Kross TikTok, he's got limited time left on Tuesday nights. So, John Smith, an interview before the show with Raquel Gonzalez, who said, I quote, "After I beat Zaya, there will be no one left." And Dakota shot her that look. Again, Dakota feels like she's being overlooked, and she does not like that. Please reference Tegan Knox War Games 2019. But she went on with the NXT Women's Championship match, John Smith.
Yeah, well, why would she fight her best friend, though? She's not even considering her best friend, because why would they fight each other?
Because, John, if we're best friends, I would expect you would give me the first ever opportunity. You win the belt, I should get as best friend. It's called nepotism. Yeah,
I guess that's true when you look at it that way. But Well, this match, was hard hitting. Xia Li is a beast, but then I think it got cut a little short. I don't think it was only supposed to go 10 minutes. It seemed like they were setting up for at least another 5, but Raquel did some sort of, not Vader bomb, but something close to it, but it was like an elbow drop, but she just landed right on Xia Li's midsection where she has no protection.
It was Starship Pain without the Starship.
Right, it was just pain.
Pain.
Yeah. So, the doctors took a look at her. We got Raquel off to the side, like, come on, I want to keep this match going, blah, blah, blah. Xia Li gets up, gets slammed, gets pinned. Obviously, that was not supposed to end that way. I think Raquel was supposed to win the match, but I don't think it was supposed to be in that fashion. But I hope Xia Li's all better. They said that she was fine backstage.
Yeah.
But, I can't imagine it being just a wind knocked out of you situation, because why would they end the match like that?
Yeah, shout out. Whatever was wrong, shout out to Xia Li. They could have just, if she wasn't scheduled to win, they could have just stopped the match right there. She's like, no, we're finishing this. I can take one more move, like just get me standing upright, and I will take it. And she did that. So shout out to Xia Li. Here to here in my book. Good job. John DeConnie, that wasn't the only physical altercation that was. Kyle O'Reilly and Austin Theory, they were getting pretty vicious towards the end of that match. It seemed like it was just escalating more and more as the match was going on. That was hard hitting.
Yeah. When they tore it up in the ring, and then they got outside the ring, and it seemed like Kyle had already mentioned he needs to get back to his old ways, not totally be a scumbag like he was in the Undisputed Era, but he needs that killer instinct back. And when they rolled outside and Theory went and separated the ring step and got ready to use them, Kyle got a little bit of the snappies. So he got super aggressive, and eventually he would end it with a knee bar submission, but he wouldn't release it after the tap out. The referee kind of had to pull Kyle O'Reilly off of him, and just a bad week for Austin Theory. He winds up getting into this match after O'Reilly kind of gets in Gargano's face backstage beforehand. He gets the submission loss. He gets a little extra juice at the end of it because O'Reilly wouldn't let go of it. Then afterwards, the Way is in the locker room, and everyone's complaining about everything because Indy's projecting on everyone because she still wants Dexter. Candice and Johnny are apoplectic about losing their gold. And Theory just kind of walked off, feeling ignored. He just kind of hit the road. I hope this is not the end of the Way, but I'm getting a bad feeling about things.
Yeah. They can't put the joke together. I was going to say that maybe they're going to have an appendectomy. Or I can't even say the word. Never mind. So the most dangerous fish in the ocean, the Kushida fish, they defeated Diamond Mine when Kushida hit Rust, or made Tyler Rust tap out to the hoverboard lock. Earlier in the show, Cameron Grimes had some issues carrying all of LA Knight's bags. Drake Maverick offered to help. LA Knight had an issue with that. So let me just, this looks all too familiar. Let me just change the graphic to Impact here. So we had a match between Rockstar Spud with Eli Drake with Trevor Lee at ringside, John DeConnie. I'm sorry, John Smith.
No, John DeConnie.
Yeah, it is John DeConnie.
No, yeah, this one's me. Yeah, so this was less than a 2.5-minute match. But, Knight was more worried about Grimes properly displaying the $1 Million Championship outside, and I guess the second time he went to correct him and make sure he was holding it at just the right height. He was kind of between the top and middle rope, hanging outside. He lined up the championship just right, and Rockstar Spud drop kicked him in the tuchus, and he went first into the title, which allowed him to be then rolled back up, right? Blah, 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 into it, and roll Knight up for the win, correct? And then afterwards, Knight attacks Maverick because, Eli Drake is a sore loser. But he would then, of course, Grimes tried to stop him, right? Enough. He's had enough. No, he keeps, LA Knight keeps referring to Grimes saying, you are a man of your word. And as a man of your word, you do what I tell you. He forced him to, feed a couple knuckle sandwiches to Drake Maverick in the corner. Grimes was not happy about it, but as a man of his word, he did it. and this just gets more and more interesting as we go along.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. Frankie Monet with Jessica Kamea, who was invited to ringside, and Robert Stone, who was not invited to ringside. He came out a little bit later. They defeated. Frankie Monet defeated In Action with the Glam Slam. Mandy Rose appeared at ringside as well, laying across the announce table. So, and she just watched. So we do not really know the plan yet for Mandy Rose. John Smith in a match. You kind of forget because you see Swerve with his Hit Row and his new group. You forget the hatred that Swerve and Santos Escobar has for each other. They were at they were the first ever Cruiserweight Championship match in TakeOver history at TakeOver 31. Now it looks like they're on a collision course for TakeOver 36 for the North American title.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, we were supposed to get a Mexican mariachi. I don't know if it was just madness. Thank you, John. Mexican mariachi madness. But then we didn't deserve that. So we don't deserve to be exposed to his culture because we're just lowly NXT fans. And then he talks about how he wants the North American title. So summon Hit Row. You cut some rap promos, and then we get the face off in the ring. Lackeys go after Hit Row first. They get cleared out of the ring, and Santos and Swerve are yelling at each other, and they start finally going at it. It all ends up with, I believe it was Mendoza getting hit with a guitar, getting the guitar smashed over his back. And it seems like we're probably going to end up getting a 6-man tag between these guys before all's said and done, before we get the one-on-one championship match.
Yeah, it's not going to be like, with the Bronson Reed and MSK with the both titles and everything on the line. I think this might just be a one-on-one rematch with Swerve and Santos. Speaking with MSK, they had the interview. It was interrupted by a video promo where they were trying to explain the initials of what MSK stands for. It was interrupted by Imperium. I guess maybe it was Peacock was doing that section of the broadcast, I guess. I don't know. But I did some research, and I found out the whole story with MSK. So now get this.
Thanks, Al. Summer Mondays are back for the Primetime Rundown as myself, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca will be coming to you with the Primetime Rundown right here on the Eastern Observer on Monday nights beginning at 7 p.m. all the way until August 30th. Make sure to join us on the following platforms.
So that's why they're called MSK. So it's a pretty crazy story, right?
That makes total sense now.
It does. And the Peacock Network, you can't just, it's horrible. So tonight and next Tuesday night, due to USA Network's Olympic coverage, NXT will be doing their airing on Sci-Fi Network, which should make Dexter Lumis feel at home. I got a funny feeling he's going to be doing something weird maybe than either tonight and next week. But yeah, USA. How
are they not doing ECW night one of these two nights?
Yeah, with the Sci-Fi Network, they made get the zombie back. That's it. Bring back the zombie. So last week during the breakout tournament, Odyssey Jones defeated Andre Chase with a variation of the Power Slam to advance in the breakout tournament. There's a joke in here somewhere about Odyssey's brother Iliad, who's their eventually tag team partner. But even I don't find that joke funny, so I'm just going to skip it. The breakout tournament's going to continue this week. We got Carmelo Hayes, who we have seen before. He's going against Josh Briggs. I don't know why Josh the Goods Woods seems to always come into mind. I guess they're two different people. I always say Josh the Briggs. I don't know. Anyway, but we have a no name in Josh Briggs, unless I have never seen him before. Maybe I'm missing something here, John McConney.
If you're missing it, I'm missing it too. Give me Carmelo Hayes here. I've seen him a little bit. We know he can. Seems like the kind of guy that they would be building in this tournament, unless they exposed us to him ahead of time to make it that much more entertaining or that much more of jumping off point when he beats him. But I'm going to go away from that theory and say that Carmelo Hayes is our winner here.
All right, yeah. The plan kind of backfired for me originally earlier in the tournament, Johnson. Brendan Vink, I forget what his new name is. But I'm like, we've seen him already. Let the other guy win. And Brendan Vink ended up winning. So I'm going to go with Carmelo Hayes on this one. What about you?
Coin flip. I really don't know. I don't know anything about either of these guys, so I'm not going to pretend to know and to have an idea of who's going to win.
All right, then, John, just hope those guys have fun. That's pretty much all you can do. There you go. So Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan talked trash to Ciampa and Thatcher after being attacked the week prior. So this is going to be fun. I am really going to enjoy this match. Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher against Pete Dunne, Oni Lorcan, Loney Orkin, whatever you want to call him, Lorcan and Birch, Borkin and Lurch, Dorkin and Lunn. There we go. That's the new one. John Smith, who do you got?
This one's really tough. It's just a straight up match, right?
Yeah, straight up. Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me?
Give me Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan.
I don't like betting against Oni Lorcan. He beat Karrion Kross and Finn Balor in NXT, where they're unstoppable. Oni Lorcan did it by himself. He doesn't need a partner.
By
Lorcan
himself.
Ciampa and Thatcher by himself. John McConney.
That's right. Yeah, give me Borkin and Dune here.
And then the last match that we have scheduled for tonight at NXT, Bronson Reed's looking to bounce back after losing the North American title, so you might as well go after the best that there is in the company. Sure. So that's Bronson Reed's theory. How's that going to work out for him, John Smith?
Oh, if he hits the tsunami, I think Adam Cole might disappear, like in a Looney Tunes cartoon where he just gets stuck in him. I got Cole winning this though.
John McConney.
Yeah, it's going to be like when Taz tried to choke out Bam Bam Bigelow in ECW. Bam Bam fell backwards and they wound up underneath the ring. Give me Cole here as well.
You have to. Cole's better, right? But you just get that feeling you don't know what they're doing with Bronson Reed. We haven't seen him on Raw or SmackDown yet. He was a part of all those rumors that Vince was looking at. I was looking at him. I keep on forgetting I have my Vince doll here. I'm sorry, not a doll. It's an action figure. I get Bronson Reed. I don't like betting against Adam Cole. I'm going to take Bronson Reed in this one, though, just because I think there's something else going on here. There's something more. But then again, I know Samoa Joe is Adam Cole. I know Joe's kind of busy, but Cole hates Joe. But then Kyle O'Reilly is still an issue, so maybe Kyle O'Reilly brings this back up and costs Cole the match. I don't know. So, gentlemen, I know that was a solid hour plus of on-screen time. We're going to give you guys a break, and we are going to bring in the handsome Gary Mehaffy. I like that color shirt you wear today. Thank you for getting my memo today.
That's it. I got the memo. And can I just say before we start that despite the rumors, I can neither confirm nor deny that I ran off with Baron Corbin's GoFundMe money, but that's like all $8.23 of it. But I'm not.
I didn't want to throw you under the bus, but I know you are very tech savvy to the point where you're creating websites for some people, right?
That's it. I'm the school's ICT coordinator. I know these things. It's like
exactly. Gary, glad to have you on today. Pretty deadly. Side play check. They got it done. Very good match. Very well done. Subculture. They performed. They went all out as always.
Yeah, I mean, it picked up as it went, and I'm obviously biased, and I'll say the better team lost because I'm a subculture through and through. But it went on and it went on, and it has to be said, as the match went through and as it headed towards the end, it really picked up. And when I was writing down some of my notes, when you got towards the end, when subculture when they hit the Stun Dog Millionaire, then the Poison ran a V-trigger combo, but it was broken up. And then once the belts come into the ring and the ref was just about distracted no more, he nearly turned around too soon. Obviously, then they hit their neck breaker, their heart attack type neck breaker on Mark Andrews and won it. But it was a really, really good match, and it really did. there were a lot of notable things happening on the show, and although I would have liked to seen Subculture do it, they really are behind Pretty Deadly at the minute, and they keep putting out tweets saying, "Oh, who's next? Who's next? Which team's next?"
Yeah.
So it would almost make you think down the line in a month or two they're going to bring in some new debuting team and put them over them strong. But we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I'm having a hard time figuring out any like face, quote unquote teams that could be their next challenger. Smith and Carter are like the only two that off the top of my head. I feel like everybody else is a heel.
yeah, you've Mustache Mountain, I suppose. They could head to them again, but
Yeah.
Unless they just bring somebody in and say it would be a way to make a new team to bring them in and put them over straight away. But
Yeah, we'll get to Mustache Mountain in a bit. They have the match on Thursday night. Noam Dar on the Supernova Sessions did a pretty deep dive into the personal lives of Ginny and Joseph Connors, and he broke out the boyfriend material line.
Yeah.
That was absolutely genius by Noam Dar, even though it didn't work.
it's an old line, but I actually didn't see it coming because when he got up and he went, "Feel this," I was half expecting the response just to be, "Oh, it's very cheap material, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
But then when he did the boyfriend material, I actually went, "Oh, I didn't see that coming." Very good.
Oh, I forgot about that line.
It was a tale of two sections. This, obviously, you had Noam Dar poking about what was going on with them and hitting on Jenny the whole way through. And then Jenny obviously calling out Eva Valkyrie as they got towards the end to get serious. But Noam Dar is amazing. He's just the MVP of that show without a doubt. So.
Well, it's his show. I don't understand why he wouldn't be the MVP of it. Yeah, Ginny was a little upset. She had to sit on one of those aluminum chairs. Got her a nice pillow to sit on.
It was brilliant. I like that. And they gave her the cushion. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was just brilliant.
Yeah, so Ginny, she said, I'm here. I'm here to be serious. I'm here to, and she talks some trash to Effie Valkyrie. Fast forward right after that. I've never seen this before. A guy wrestled right after the Supernova Sessions, but Joseph Connors had a match. He defeated In Action with a crossed-arm Rude Awakening. And then, one of the things that Ginny said was, Alfie, she doesn't have the guts to get in my face. And then.
And as if by magic, Aoife appears. It's
right?
I will say for Joseph Connor's match, Tristan Archer, I think it's his first time on WWE TV in 5 years. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic back in the day in 2016. He was under, I think it was Clement Petio. He was in he lost to Cedric Alexander. It was the same episode that Kota Ibushi was on. I went back and had a look. So he was then, but he hasn't had another look again since. But he's done a lot of stuff in Europe. But no, Connors is amazing, as you say. But the whole thing was good that it built up both sides. It gave Connors a good win. And then you had Jenny, who had been giving it all that to Valkyrie. It then played off their part too. So it didn't overshadow Connor's win because he got a good decisive win. But yeah, it built up. That Jenny and Valkyrie is coming down the line as well. So
yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Staying with the women's division, Nina Samuels, she defeated an In Action as well with a variation of the go to sleep, I guess, as her new finishing maneuver. That was pretty tough.
Yeah, it does look good. They gave Laura Di Matteo a little bit more offense again, so I think they'll do some stuff with her. And actually, it wouldn't surprise me way down the line, and I do mean way down the line, if Jenny and Nina Samuels end up in some sort of feud, because they're actually quite similar characters.
Exactly. I thought that's the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's good. Say they really are. They put Nina over, and as I say, that it'll build to something. It wasn't just a random match, so that maybe in a lot of weeks' time she'll get another match to build on, so it's good to see them giving some other opportunities to people.
Yeah, I think the difference is, Ginny is more into fashion as the fashionista, but she is the fashion, and Nina Samuels is the star. Like, they actually did a whole. It seemed like it was like a Broadway show now that they're like. So you can see a little bit of difference, but yeah, they're both stuck up snobs. That's the bottom line. Teal Man tells us to respect him and Rohan Raja, and that their family is ever growing. I thought that was interesting.
I've written down in my notes that just at the end when he said that, was there an empty seat and an empty place at the side of the table? I think there was. I looked and went, oh, hello. Okay. This is interesting that they're kind of sowing the seeds to get people thinking there's somebody else coming here. So again, I did think it was going to be Oliver Carter at one point.
Exactly.
But it looks as if, as you say, they're opening the door for that. So.
Jack Stars again thanked Bomber Dave Mastiff for his support, and the Bomber said something before he left. I couldn't really understand them. Is Bomber looking for a partner?
Yeah, no, they said there's more to come from the two of them.
Yeah, I think Bomber's looking for a partner. That's kind of the gist I got from it. So, Gary, Blair Davenport is a complete bitch.
That she is. I thought it was good because if there'd been a crowd when she debuted, she'd have been over like gangbusters. I mean, she would have been just really, really over. But when they did this little thing with Al Carl's favorite NXT diva, female wrestler, Zaya Brookside, they really, as you say, they really did. She gave off to her about just living off her dad's surname and stuff, and they did just set her up to go, I may be here, and people may be happy to see me, but don't like me. I'm here to take over, and you're like, okay. Yep. So she's marking cards, as they say.
Yeah. So she picked the wrong person for me to go after first. So I told Ty kicks her ass for that one. We got one match going into Thursday. Both teams shot protos. One was a video package by Symbiosis. Mustache Mountain did kind of like a backstage promo saying they're getting back together just to take out Eddie Dennis once and for all. So who do you got going in this one?
Yeah, I'm going Mustache Mountain. As we say, when we're talking earlier on, saying about maybe needing some more babyface teams for Pretty Deadly down the line, I'm going to do that. I'm going to say that Mustache Mountain go over and then head that direction. Yeah,
there's no reason to bet against Mustache Mountain. Do you give Symbiosis a little bit? I don't know. This is a tough call in my opinion. I don't know because they just lost to. Didn't they just lose to? Subculture?
Yeah, they could, as you say, they could do with something, but it's again. No matter, I know it sounds silly to go whatever the result is. There's obviously a reason for it, but if they decide, okay, we're going to head back down another route, and maybe Subculture and Symbiosis end up going together again and whatever, so they may go over. But no, I'm hopeful that Mustache Mountain are going to go. So
because I have in my notes that said it looks like this feud is coming to an end. So like as I say, you kind of want. Because if Trent and Tyler can go on their own, Tyler's a singles champion, so they can go out on their own. I think Symbiosis needs this now. If this is ending, then I think Eddie Dennis needs to cheat to win here to get his guys a win. So I'm going to go with Symbiosis.
The only thing I ever did think was whether at some point they tried to turn Trent Seven and turn him heel. Because they've had the old, you're the founding father, and he can't get the wins, and he's been in Tyler Bates' corner quite a lot, and I kind of was going, okay, whether he'll just go at some point, maybe it might be the next Heritage Cup match that he kind of turns on him. Hopefully not, but they could do it.
All right, so Gary, that'll do it for the NXT UK. We're going to keep you on screen, though. We're going to bring back in John Smith. We're going to bring back in John DeConnie. We're going to go 4 strong going into Impact and this little made-up homecoming tournament I have, since we don't have any brackets to go over. And guys, please just know my wife just got home from work. Everybody, can we please put our pants back on? Thank you. I don't know why. John DeConnie, we had a championship match, the Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. Decay got it done on the heels of a tweet sent out by Kiera Hogan that she's gone. She wants to try to do bigger and better things.
Yeah, it's very sad to see her go. God only knows what her partner will do now other than talk an awful lot, because that's what those two always do. But we certainly will miss her. But yes, Rosemary and Havoc were able to retain the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. When Havoc hit a leg sweep, Rosemary hit a spear, and they pinned Kira. She did exactly what you're supposed to do. She counted the lights on her way out the door, and we wish her the best in all her future business.
Yeah, it's Impact. We don't know what's with the future, but she doesn't have anything aligned. It's just like, you know what? AEW's right there. You kind of like I texted right away and Hunter, get her. Like, I'm a big Kiera Hogan fan, so I think that she would fit in, especially since that roster's getting depleted now that everyone's getting called up to SmackDown, since SmackDown's getting depleted. So
might as well go to the female roster in the world.
That's it. In a 6-person intergender match, we had Matt Cardona, Chelsea Green, and Jake Something. They defeated Brian Myers, Tito Dashwood, Sam Beal after Chelsea hit the Unprettier on Sam Beal. There you go. That works. Taylor Wilde reappeared. I asked this question like 2 weeks ago. Anyone has eyes on Taylor Wilde, and then there you go. You mention her name, just don't mention Lars, please. I don't even have the graphic anymore, because we don't need him showing up randomly again. That happened to me last time. But they, So Taylor Wilde's back. Tennille was the one that took her out, and we're assuming because that was the team that Tennille was trying to form. Then Taylor just appealed, and Tennille's like, I don't know, she's not my partner. Just being Tennille. So that's just, you kind of figure something happened there. But yeah, Taylor Wilde is back. FinJuice, they had a match against Ace Austin, Madman Fulton after the Royal Roll-Up on Madman. Post-match attack by Rohit Raju and Mehaffy Shira joined in on the FinJuice beatdown. Now, just real quick before we get to the match, there's an 8-man tag team match signed here for Thursday night. Matt Striker is hinting at a war here. Matt Striker was almost cheering on Ace Austin and Madman Fulton and Rohit Raju to just beat the crap out of FinJuice here. And FinJuice are the good guys. We don't want to see this happen, right? As fans. I think the war is coming, and I think it's just going to take place in Impact because now we have like 3 promotions invading that one company. I mean, it's a little more so in AEW. Like, they're invading and taking titles here, so I think we need to kind of keep an eye on that for now. But FinJuice, they're going to get some help. They're going to be formed by Fallah Bahh and No Way Jose against Ace Fulton, Raju, and Mehaffy Shira. Gary, we don't really get to talk Impact with you on this one. Who do you got in this interpromotional showdown?
It's like the battle of, there's people on both sides that I've interviewed over the years, and I was kind of going, who do I choose? I am going to go FinJuice and Bala, and No Way, no second name. I'm going to go
Joe, right? This is Joe.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with FinJuice to win it.
All right, John Smith.
Yeah, I'm going with the heels on this one because I think FinJuice took the match last week, right? So I feel like they're going to get a receipt. Yeah.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, I assume the heels will do something here to pull this one out since there's nothing much on the line but bragging rights. So give me Ace, Fulton, Shira, Rohit.
I'm kind of new. I'm gonna go with Ace. I'm not gonna go bet against Ace and Rohit on the same team. Are you kidding me? This is like a freaking all-star team. I'm going to see a little bit of a pattern, though, between Fulton and Shira the past couple of weeks. Like, one take a pinfall, then the other guy's going to take a pinfall, and now, Shira took it again, and Fulton took it last. I've been noticing, like, they're trading losses here, just those two. So, if they are going to lose, look for Shira to take the 3 count this time. But I'm not going to bet against Ace and Rohit on the same team. Are you nuts? Forgot to... Deonna Purrazzo accepted Mickie James's invite to take part in Empower on August 28th. It looks like they had their main event booked. Deonna Purrazzo, the Impact Knockouts champion. I do believe she will have a AAA championship to her resume as well by that point in time. So Deonna looks like she will be headlining this all-women's pay-per-view, and rightly so. So looking forward to that. Going back to all of it, we mentioned Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott. And man, going back to some old feuds here, Eric Young must really hate Rich Swann. We're circling back to this again that they did all last summer when Eric Young came back. So we're gonna have Violent by Design. They jumped Swann and Willie last week in their locker room. They're going to big into the ring. I do believe it is Diener and Rhino representing Violent by Design, John McConney.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we're going to stretch this one out, don't you have to have the bad guys win first? So give me Violent by Design, but Swann and Willie Mack will be victorious somewhere down the line.
All right, Gary.
Yeah, I was literally going to say the exact same thing as John there. I'm going Violent by Design. Some sort of shenanigans, but I'm going with him.
All right, John Smith. Best music in wrestling today, folks. Willie Mack.
I got Violent by Design, though.
Oh, no. All right, I'm going to go with Swan. I'm going the Island. I got Swan and Willie. Let me get their asses kicked after the match. Diener's in the match. They don't have the belt anymore. Diener can go back to taking pinfalls. So give me Rich Swan with the pin on Diener. Then it's the bum rush 4-on-2, led by Joe Doring after the match. Chris Bay defeated the aforementioned Rohit Raju with the Art of Finesse. Post-match backstage, Jay White introduced himself to Chris Bay and offered him a spot in the Bullet Club. Fast forward to the middle of the show, Jay White did an in-ring promo, which was interrupted by Kenny Omega and the Elite, which turned into the Good Brothers attacking Jay White, since Jay never said thank you for forming the Bullet Club that he is the leader of today. Chris Bay came out to the rescue. Chris Bay is apparently in the Bullet Club. That is the wrong tag team match. There we go. We're going to have the Bullet Club represented by their leader, Jay White, never openweight champion, along with their newest member, Chris Bay, going against the Impact Tag Team Champions in a Champions Eliminator Contenders. Impact doesn't have a name for it, a non-title match. But Gary, who do you got?
Cream always rises to the top, so I'm going with the Chris Bay Cream. He's going to rise to the top, and he will take it. So the Bullet Club it is.
John Smith, I couldn't remember what the joke was. That's right.
How do I argue with Krispy Kreme? Yeah, I'll go with Gary on that one with Chris Bay.
Yes. Jay White's in the match too, John DeConnie. he's on the team too. Not a big deal.
Absolutely, but nothing I say is going to top that. So yes, give me White and Bay.
Obviously, Carl Anderson is getting the pin here, so we're going to go Jay White pinning Carl Anderson. I'll be a little more specific. So we'll do that. And then the rematch I've been wanting, I'm looking for, since I picked against my guy. They're going to go at it again. I think it's too late, too little, too late for me. I'm going to pick Chris Sabin anyway, even if there's no points on the line, and even if this is the 50-50 buyback and Moose is going to kick his ass. But I think they'll just keep going with it. I think it's going to be maybe another roll-up by Sabin there, John Smith.
I think you're trying to convince yourself, not us.
That is exactly what I'm doing.
No, Moose is going to destroy him for him getting that cheap victory at the pay-per-view.
All right. Gary.
Yeah, same again. Moose it is.
All right, John DeConnie, going to leave me alone on my island again?
Yes, sir. You are all alone. Give me Moose.
Okay. So we actually have one match to pick. We'll get the top screen done. Boom, I got the homecoming graphic locked and ready to load, ready to roll. Here are our standings going into homecoming this weekend. Ryan Joy has about a 30-point lead, a little more than that, over John Smith, who got a couple extra points for nailing Fighter Fest Night 2. He jumped ahead of me. He's ahead of me by 1 point. Travis, about 20 points behind me. John DeConnie, Gary. Taylor didn't answer the bell in time for his picks, so he stayed where he's at. Here are our Impact-specific shows. John Smith is the leader in that as well. 24-9 record, 143 points. I'm in second behind him. Ryan, again, right behind me. John DeConnie, Travis, and you can see all the scores there. A little bit of a different scoring system because it is a tournament. We do have our normal scoring in place, the 5-3-1 with the interpromotional bump. But we do have a tournament. It's supposed to be an 18-team tournament happening to a mixed tag team tournament. A gentleman and a lady will be teaming up to become the homecoming kings and queens. So the first round of the tournament will be 1 point. The semifinals will be worth 2 points. And then the final match for the championship, if you even get that far, picking if you get that right, that will be worth 4 points. We do have 3 teams announced, for this tournament. No brackets, though. So we actually have Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. They are fresh off that victory at Slammiversary over Brian Myers and Tennille Dashwood. Speaking of Brian Myers, he needs a partner. Tennille Dashwood apparently dumped him. But they announced a couple minutes before we started recording the show that Brian Myers is in it, but he will have to have a mystery partner, and it will not be Tennille Dashwood. And then I don't want to say odds-on favorite, but God, I think this is the fan favorite right here. Crazy Steve and Rosemary Crazy Steve walked her down the aisle at her wedding. That's how close these two are. Decay will be represented in this tournament. We do actually have one match to pick real quick before we get into our tournament. We have a hardcore match, a return match from Slammiversary, as Eddie Edwards and W. Morrissey are getting at it again. This time, like I said, a hardcore match. Anything goes, John Connie.
Yeah, and you would think that would lean towards Eddie, but I just see them. I see something much bigger before Morrissey takes his first L. So give me W. Morrissey in this one.
All right, Gary's nodding his head in agreement.
Yeah, I would go with W. Morrissey for the same reason. Yeah.
All right, John Smith.
When is this show, by the way?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
This Saturday.
Jeez. I'm going to go with Eddie on this one. I think he's going to get some sort of raw roll-up on him maybe and get his ass beat after the fact for it. But, yeah, I got Eddie because Eddie's their guy. Eddie's like their John Cena. So, like, he can't just keep losing, you know?
Okay. I want to bet on Eddie. I don't know if I want to, but I don't know if I want to. Does that make any sense? Like I could totally see Eddie winning this, but I don't think you should take it away from Morrissey. Yeah, Morrissey, let him keep rolling right now. You see Morrissey Kenny Omega at some point? That'd be fun. So, like I said, we don't have any brackets to pick. We got some time to kill. I actually had some time to kill since I made this thing. So I put together a little homecoming mixed match challenge tournament of my own. The gentlemen on screen, they've seen the brackets beforehand, so they just have their theories and thoughts and winners picked to keep this going. But just a quick heads up, I actually came up with 32 teams. This is a 32-team tournament. 24 of the 32 are married couples, so they will be seeds 1 through 6. I have 3 teams that are engaged. They engaged couples, so they haven't taken the next step in. That's why they can't get the higher seed. So we have 3 teams that are engaged. They will fill out 3 of the 7 seeds. And then I found 5 teams that are dating. They are on the bottom end of the spectrum. They have not even got down on a knee yet to commit to their relationship. So they will get the bottom parts of their seed. As you see in the top, I tried to make this as recent as possible. These are all active couples, and it could be active. So within the last 3 years, if they've wrestled in the last 3 years, they are eligible, unless they are now, it's like The Undertaker, like Brie Bella, that they are retired. So you will not see The Undertaker with Michelle McCool. You will not see Brock Lesnar with Sable. You will not see Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella in this tournament. So, gentlemen, are we ready to get going with Group 1 here?
Let's do it.
All right, Gary, you got the memo today about matching on wearing orange today. So I'll give you the first crack at Group 1. Here we go. Top-seeded Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. That's kind of a no-brainer there. They have the dating couple of Mac and Deonna Purrazzo. You got Spears and Cassie Lee, the former Peyton Royce. They're going against Killian Dane, Nikki Ashton. I wonder who you're going to pick on that one. Miro and CJ, who normally has long on it, they got a tough tag. That's an interesting match right there with Andrade and Charlotte Flair. Nick Aldis, Mickey James will go in against Drake Maverick and Renee Rochelle. Gary, what do you got him going in here?
No. Do you want me to go right through to the very end?
Well, go all the way through it.
Okay.
Fill out the group.
I'm going Triple H and Steph to win the first match. And funnily enough, Dane and Nikki ASH.
Yep.
Take a second. I'm going to go Miro and CJ over Andrade and Charlotte.
Wow.
And I'm going Nick Aldis and Mickey James over Per Drake and Renee. Which takes me to my semis, which I've got Triple H and Steph actually going over Killian Dane and Nikki ASH.
Gary.
I know. And I have Miro and CJ going over Nick and Mickey, which takes me to my final of Triple H and Steph against Miro and CJ. And I've just changed my mind, and I'm going to change who I have. I'm going for Miro and CJ to win this group.
All right, so I got to put you down for Miro and CJ. There we go. I got to make sure, because we got to do our final 4 after all this is all said and done. John Smith.
So my first round was all exactly the same as Gary's. And my second round, but I have Triple H and Stephanie beating Miro and Lana in the finals of this group.
All right, John DeConnie.
All right, I'm going to stick out a little bit here. I've got Triple H and Steph, of course, winning the first round. I've got Dane and Nikki winning that second one. It broke my heart, but I've got Andrade and Charlotte winning that matchup against Miro and CJ. I also had Aldis and Mickey. Then I've got Triple H and Steph over on. Excuse me. I have Andrade moving on over Triple H and Steph.
All right, so you got Andrade and Charlotte. That's a tough bracket right there because Andrade and Charlotte, they have not been announced as a married couple yet. They are engaged, so they got one of the 7 seeds. So we got 2. You got myself. I got Triple H and Stephanie as well. I'm not going to bet against that. I put them as the number 1 overall seed for a reason. So John's got Andrade and Charlotte, but I do have I probably just on a team effort. No, Andrade and Miro is one thing. That could go either way. Probably Miro with a small advantage. I think one-on-one Miro would beat him, but Charlotte's going to do something to get Lana in that ring and just completely ragdoll her. So I had to go with Andrade and Charlotte on that one. So that will be Group 1 there. And I didn't really say this in the text chain. They're going to fight the winner of Group 4. So I don't know if you have to readjust your brackets with that.
Oh, you got me on that one.
I know, that was my fault. 1 through 4. Here we got going in Group 2. It's tough not to give 2 Hall of Famers the number 1 seeds. We got Edge and Beth Phoenix. They're going to be going against Jungle Boy and Anna Jay, the new couple that announced their relationship a couple months back. You got Cedric and Big Swole Hell Team. Oh, that's going against Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. Recently married on TV, which was ruined by Orange Cassidy and Best Friends. John Morrison, Frankie Monet with the 2 seed going against Keith Lee and Mia Yim. And then we got Gargano, Candice LeRae representing the Way going against Eric from the Viking Raiders and Sarah Logan. All right, John Smith, I'll let you lead the way on this one.
All right, so on this one, I got Edge and Beth Phoenix. As much as I like Jungle Boy, I got to go with them. I got Cedric and Swole winning the second match. I got the Drip Drip family, of course, beating Keith Lee and Mia Yim. I think I might be on an island on that one, though. And I got Gargano and Candice LeRae winning. Then I got them losing to the Drip Drips. And I got Cedric and Swole losing to Edge and Beth Phoenix. And we see the upset where Frankie Monet pins Beth Phoenix with her own finisher in the finals
of this game. America's Most family going to the semifinals.
America's Moist family. Moist.
Yeah, exactly. America's Moist family. All right, Gary, what do you got?
I have Edge and Beth going over at this first one. I have Kip and Penelope going over in the second match. Keith Lee and Mia Yim beating the Drip Drips. And then Johnny Wrestling and Candice going over in the bottom match. Again, I do have Edge and Beth winning the semi-final over Kip and Penelope. I've got the Wrestling family, Gargano and Candice, winning over Keith Lee and Mia Yim. And in a surprise, I am going to go for Johnny Gargano and Candice beating Edge and Beth Phoenix in the final. So Johnny Wrestling to take the win.
Yeah, there you go. There's a Johnny Wrestling. I think I showed this to Ryan Joy before in pre-production on Monday. He went with the Garganos in this one too, John McConaughey.
Yep, and that's where I'm headed. But when you do these things, especially when you do like the NCAA bracket, you get extra points or whatever when you pick the upsets. So this is where I got a little bit weird here, and I've got Jungle Boy and Anna upsetting the 2 Hall of Famers right in the first match in this bracket.
Wow!
I got Seti and Swole beating Kip and Penelope. I got the Morrisons going over the Lees, and I got the Garganos, of course. Then I got Jungle Boy and Anna beating Seti and Swole. Garganos going over the Morrisons, and then the Garganos taking the bracket because this is the way.
Okay, so yeah, I just can't bet against 2 Hall of Famers to come out of this group. I don't know who would be. Like I said, the Garganos could out wrestle them. I know Swole versus Beth Phoenix in a one-on-one is an interesting power match. There's some power women in this bracket between Swole, Frankie Monet, Sarah Logan, and Beth Phoenix. Yeah, it's a tough guy. I got to go with Morrison and Frankie over Keith Lee, the Gargano. I got Edge and Beth Phoenix beating the Garganos in the final. And I really liked, actually, in that first round of Cedric and Swole, I have them beating Kip and Penelope. I'm going to have that as a really good match. I really like that match as well. So going into Group 3, John DeConnie, here's what you're going to be leading us off with. Of course, Seth and Becky, they are one of the top couples present day. They've actually had mixed match tag matches together. They main evented a pay-per-view as a unit together. I forget how that worked out. Brock Lesnar cashing in. They got Ricochet and Casey. I love that matchup. Montez Ford and Bianca Belair. They're down in Miami Gardens right now. They're going to be going against Roddy Strong and Marina Zafir. Malachi Black, Selena Vega. They get the 2 seed. They're going to go against Matt Cardona and Chelsea. They are one of the engaged couples, so they got the 7. Brandy and Cody. They got a 3 seed. John Smith. That's too high.
They shouldn't even be on this list.
Going against Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis. John DeConnie, how do you got this one coming out?
All right, so this whole thing is being booked by Al Carl, right? It's not being booked by AEW? You're booking it. I booked the brackets. You can do whatever you want. I'm not saying who's right or wrong here. All right, okay, let me switch out Cody. I had winning the whole thing. Hold on. Yeah, I got Seth and Becky going over Ricochet and Casey. I've got Montez and Bianca going over Roddy and Marina. Malachi and Zelina over Cardona and Chelsea. I do have Cody and Brandy getting out of the first round, but they'll get taken out quickly by Malachi and Zelina. And Seth and Becky will take out Montez and Bianca. And I've got Seth and Becky over Cody to take the bracket.
All right, John Smith.
So my bracket looks exactly the same except for my winner. I've got Malachi Black and Zelina Vega winning. Actually, no, I got Cody losing in the first round. Duh.
I was about to say, I can't believe you actually had him winning.
No, yeah. So Cody loses in the first round. Otherwise, it's all the same. And then, I got Aleister Black and Zelina Vega going to the final 4.
All right, Gary.
There's only half of my first round to see him. I have Seth and Becky going over. I have Roddy and Marina beating Montez and Bianca. Malachi Black and Zelina going forward. And I have Mike Bennett and Maria beating Cody and Brandy in the first round. Yeah. Seth and Becky beating Roddy and Marina in the semi. And the same Malachi Black and Zelina beating Bennett and Maria in the semi-final. And I've got Seth and Becky winning. I've got the man pinning Zelina to win it. So that one will be taken by Seth and Becky.
Okay, well, here's where I'm booking this. I got an 8 seed winning here. I got Ricochet and Casey. I got the upset of the whole tournament. Actually, I have them going to the finals. Screw it. Give me Ricochet and Casey Catanzaro shocking the world twice. I have them beat Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch in the first round. And then I think Roddy and Marina, they can out-wrestle Montez and Bianca. I think Montez and Bianca are the better athletes. I think Roddy and Marina are the better wrestlers. So give me them. I got Malachi and Zelina winning. They're coming out of this bracket. So they're going to beat Cardona and Chelsea. And then they're going to beat Mike Bennett and Maria. Like I said, I think everyone just wants Cody to lose. I'm not sure if he would in that match, though. But, so I got Malachi and Zelina defeating Ricochet and Casey Catanzaro in the finals of Group 3. John LeCon, I'm sorry, you went with Seth and Becky on that one, right?
Correct.
Okay. So this is where we'll put this back up. This is where my seedings backfire on me. So everyone get ready for a fun laugh that John Smith has already called me out on via text chain. So the seedings are married couples 1 through 6, and everyone who is dating, they get, except for the 1-7 seed, and I'll tell you who that is. And then everybody else gets an 8 seed. So here is the bracket 4, with of course we're going to put Miz and Maurice, the it couple of professional wrestling. They have their own reality show. Of course, the number 1 seed, and it backfires because they have Karrion Kross and Scarlett in the first round. So that one, it's so much fun on my part. So you got Jimmy Uso, Naomi going against Daga and Tessa in the 4-5 matchup. I could not leave. Once I found out Minoru Suzuki and Miko Satomura were married. I had to throw them in here, and that is just not a couple to mess with. But then they have Adam Cole and Britt Baker. They are. I gave Baker and Cole, due to their individual accolades, I gave them the top seed as a dating couple. They are not engaged yet, so they were the one couple that dating couple that got the 7 seed. Everybody else got the 8. And then we got Rich Swann, Su Yung, former champions in their own rights, going against the Blade and the Bunny, which I'm sure John DeConnie will do that. So I will go first on this one. I can't even do the Miz and Maurice over Cross and Scarlett. I can't even do that one. My upset, I'll do Cole and Baker over Minoru Suzuki, Miko Satomura. Give me Jimmy and Jay. I think this is going to come down to
Jimmy and Jay.
Jimmy and Naomi. Sorry, it's force of habit, right? Rich Swann, Su Yung. That's an interesting matchup right there. You got Adam Cole and Britt Baker against Rich Swann and Su Yung. That was tough. I mean, I got to go. I'm going to go with Adam Cole and Britt Baker to win this, beating Cross and Scarlett barely at the end. Britt Baker picking up the slack where Cole and Cross will cancel each other out. So I'm going to go with Adam Cole and Britt Baker as the 7 seed coming out of this bracket. John DeConnie.
Okay, I'm going to look very different than you because I've got Miz finding a way to get it done in the first match. I have Maurice. I got Maurice finding a way to get it done over Scarlett because Cross is using Miz as a weapon and bouncing him off everything in the arena. Then I got Jimmy and Naomi over Daga and Tessa. And this one was maybe the hardest matchup in the whole thing. I've got Minoru and Mako going over Cole and Baker. And then I got this one broke my heart, but it was a little weird to pick. I got Swann and Su Yung beating Blade and Bunny. Then I got Swann and Su Yung moving on over Mako and Minoru. I got Jimmy and Naomi finally taking out the Miz and Maurice, and I've got the Swans winning the bracket.
Nice. I like that. Rich Swann and Su Yung. There you go. I like that. All right, Gar. What do you got, pal?
Well, people are going to be shocked with who I have winning this. However, I don't think I'm going to go Cross and Scarlett to win in the first one, then Daga and Tessa to go over, then Minoru Suzuki and Mako to go over Adam and Britt. And then I have Rich Swann and Su Yung going over the Blade and the Bunny. Taking it to the semi-final, I actually have Daga and Tessa beating Cross and Scarlett. Just because I'm a big Tessa fan. And I have Minoru Suzuki and Miko Satomura beating Swann and Young. Taking me to the hard-hitting final, and as John had called them M&M, I'm going to have Minoru Suzuki and Miko Satomura. The final boss takes it.
Nice. All right, John Smith.
All right, so the Cross Miz match is going to last about 14 seconds, if that. Scarlett's not going to see in-ring action this entire tournament, by the way. I got the Usos. I got Cole and Baker, and I got Swann and Su Yung. And then I got Swann and Su Yung losing to Cole and Baker. And I got Cross and Scarlett beating the Usos. And then, of course, Karrion Kross just treats Rich Swann like a rag doll in the finals.
All right, so Cross and Scarlett comes out. Okay, so now I have everything written down here. Like I said, I screwed it up. I forgot to tell you guys, the winner of Group 1 gets the winner of Group 4. 2 fights 3. So, Gary, we'll start with you first. You had Miro and CJ out of Group 1. You had Minoru Suzuki and Miko Satomura out of Group 4. So, who do you got on that one?
Well, it'd be very hard hitting between the men, not so hard hitting between the women, I don't think. I've got Minoru Suzuki and Miko Satomura going over.
All right, then you got Seth and Becky against the Garganos, that'd be fun.
I've got the man taking it, so Seth and Becky.
All right, then who's your winner? Who's your champ?
Miko Satomura and Minoru Suzuki to beat Seth and Becky.
The UK, not UK champ. There you go, Miko Satomura. John Smith, me and you were somewhere on the same page. We got 2 of the 4 on the same here. You got Triple H and Stephanie McMahon against Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and that's going to be interesting. That is It's almost like that Spider-Man meme. You go, you.
Exactly. That's what it is. But the youth prevails over experience in this one. I got Karrion Kross choking out Triple H right in the middle of the ring.
All right, then you got the Drip Trips, the America's Moist Family going against Malachi Black and Zelina Vega.
Yeah, this one was tough for me to pick, but I got to go with my heart here and say Johnny Drip Drip takes it.
So you have John Morris and Frankie Monet in your final against Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I think this is a no-brainer. I love the fact you have Morris and Frankie going all the way to the finals here.
Absolutely. And then Scarlett gets the pin on John Morrison at the very end.
Wow.
After the forearm to the back of the head by Karrion Kross, he tags in Scarlett and she just steps on his chest for 3 count. That's her only action in the entire tournament.
John DeConnie, so your group winner had Andrade and Charlotte Flair, and that's a tough one. That's Andrade against Miro. I guess we're gonna see it at some point, right? We already missed it once, and now they're both in another cup now. You have to see that at some point. Andrade and Charlotte Flair are going against Rich Swann and Su Yung. That's a very interesting matchup. I like that.
Yeah, very, very interesting. But I've got Andrade and Charlotte making it out of this one just barely. Moving on to the finals.
And then you're the same as Gary. You got the Garganos going against Seth and Becky. Gary went with Seth and Becky. What do you got?
Yeah, I have to agree. My heart will be with the Garganos, but Seth and Becky will move on.
All right, so you have 2 of the 4 horsewomen in your final. There's only 2 in it, right? So she's not married to a wrestler, and Bailey just got out of it. Bailey would have been in this with Han Solo or whatever his name is.
Yeah, so I've got Andrade and Charlotte taking it.
Wow, I like it. And then myself, I got Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They're beating Adam Cole and Britt Baker. I got Malachi Black and Zelina Vega defeating Edge and Beth Phoenix. Edge running in for the spear. Malachi kicking him right square in the chops. The black mask. That sounds like fun. And of course, Triple H and Steph. Come on. Look at that. They walked the aisle of WrestleMania 2000 together as a couple. They're both champs. And of course, I'm picking Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to win this whole thing. All right. I hope everybody had fun listening to this. That's a lot of fun. So who are our champions? Guys, Karrion Kross and Scarlett, Minoru Suzuki, Miko Satomura, Andrade, El Idolo, Charlotte Flair, Triple H, and Stephanie. It's funny how you get 4 different ways and 4 different answers. A lot of fun. I believe Ryan. I don't know if Ryan had the Garganos winning the whole thing. I forget, but Tyler went with CM Punk. And anyway. So CM Punk in question mark. Tyler went with question marks, and it wasn't anything for him. Anyway, so we're just gonna run down the end things real quick once I find them, because now I lost them. There we go. The Primetime Rundown. You've seen commercials for them all night. The Primetime Rundown, powered by StreamYard with Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca, is now airing at 7 p.m. on Monday nights as they take you through the world of sports right here on all the Eastern Observer platforms. For more information, please go to theeasternobserver.com. Tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. to get your morning cup of joy with Ryan and his band of merry co-hosts as they sort through all the poppycock right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. I think I used poppycock already, so what should I use? Boulder Dash. As they sort through all the Boulder Dash right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. The Body Slam Brigade has over 4,400 subscribers, and they receive this weekly column every Friday afternoon at noon. Make sure you go to minutestobelltime.com to subscribe at the Body Slammer Brigade. By Ryan, for you, for free. The Black Cats NYC, the official band of the Eastern Observer, their new album, Free Cake, dropped it's almost coming up on the year anniversary, about 10 months ago. So make sure you go to Deezer, YouTube, Spotify to download all the music of Free Cake, the second album by the Black Cats NYC. As always, the Essential Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us damn it, I almost got through it this time. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool to play against us or create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. Guys, she will like it too. Make sure you come back. We will be back live next week at 6 p.m. For everybody, again, we were pre-taped today. Anybody who didn't get their comments, we were not ignoring you. I am burdened with glorious purpose today as I take the softball field tonight in a major playoff game. So I apologize for that. Hopefully this will be aired on time. But next week, episode 65, we will be back live. James Wheeler, we miss you. We hope you're having a fun time swimming all summer long. It seems that's what you've been doing most of the time. And also, please join us for our SummerSlam special, Saturday, August 21st at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, as your SummerSlam pre-show and our panel of so-called experts do a deep dive into all the matches on the card. And make sure you make our picks, and we make our picks, for this annual summertime event. And also we make those picks for ProWrestlingPick'em.com in the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool. Anything else before we get out of here? John Smith, now he's gone. All right, King Kong Bundy. Now he's hey, there's John right there.
No, I just want to plead with Vince McMahon. Please stop ruining Karrion Kross. Please give him Scarlett. Please give him his entrance back. Please, please, please.
No. Damn it.
You're fired.
You're fired. John, Gary, anything from your end?
Just as you said, with SummerSlam weekend coming up, everybody in the States do get ready, because on the Sunday night at TakeOver, you're going to have Walter and Dragunov having their match. So just everybody get ready for the match of the year.
Yeah, you say I looked this up, John DeConnie, because I'm like, oh my god, like T-Mobile Stadium's right there. So the Manny Pacquiao fight is at T-Mobile Arena the night, and that's why they're doing SummerSlam on Saturday night, so they can have the wrestling crowd going into the Manny Pacquiao fight. I think there's enough time to do an overnight conversion and get the boxing crap out of there, and get the wrestling crap in there, and get TakeOver in Vegas.
You got UNLV there too. I'm sure they've got a basketball arena, so make it happen. Damn it!
Get to Vegas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Larry Steve, forever in our hearts. We miss you, you poor guy. John DeConnie, take it home.
Thanks for joining us, and as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Now, John Smith, you know the rules of a mixed match. You know, the men have to fight the women, or the men have to fight the men, the women have to fight the women. So, like, if Jimmy Uso tags in Naomi, then Scarlett has to come in, right?
Nope.